Two final playoff spots up for grabs in the NFL. We start in the NFC where the scenario is pretty simple. If the Eagles hang on and beat the Giants in New York, they will get the NFC East crown and the final spot in the playoffs. The Cowboys need a win at home over Washington and an Eagles loss in New York. As it stands with 13 minutes to go, the Eagles have the upper hand.
And over in the AFC, Mike, you mentioned it was simple for the Eagles, pretty simple for the Titans. If they win, the sixth spot is theirs, and right now they have a double-digit lead over the Houston Texans. The Ravens are trailing. They need a win and a Tennessee loss. For Pittsburgh, it doesn't seem like either scenario is going to happen. It is Week 17 of the NFL season with Michael Leaves. I'm Zubin Mehenti. We'll be with you till 9 p.m. Eastern. NBA Countdown will follow, and then Luka and LeBron, more hoops in a second. But why not take it down to the wire, Mike, to the very last game, the 256th game in a 256-game schedule with huge stakes.
Yeah, because if the Niners can knock off the Seahawks, San Francisco would get a number 1 seed in the NFC. If they lose, all the way down to number 5. So huge stakes on hand tonight for the Seahawks and the Niners. Of course, Russell Wilson, Jimmy Garoppolo, those are your two starting quarterbacks. And there's Garoppolo. Again, huge opportunity for his team to take down the Seahawks. Russell Wilson already got a win earlier this season. That's why they would have the tiebreaker. 16-2 record in home primetime starts for Russell Wilson, 38 passing touchdowns, and you see just 10 interceptions. Of course, we have this game covered, as you might imagine. Josina Anderson hanging out with us now here on SportsCenter. Also, big news this week for Seattle, Josina, with Marshawn Lynch rejoining the team. How did his new teammates, former old teammates as well, react to his return, and what did he tell you about how he's feeling for this upcoming game?
Well, you know, Michael, I was in the Seahawks facility on Friday, and I went right up to Marshawn Lynch's locker and basically asked him, I said, what is your conditioning level right now? And he said, well, my conditioning level got me through practice this week. And I said, Marshawn, but how close are you to your Super Bowl years? And he said, you know what, I'm a grown-ass man. I was a child before. And I said, well, wait a minute. Does that mean you're going to have a grown-ass game on Sunday? And I said, remember, Marshawn, you actually had 70-plus rush yards when you first came back as a Raider after riding camels and stuff. And he was like, what? That sounds like an opportunity to me. I guess I'm back. So when I was talking to Seahawks running back Robert Turner, he said, listen, don't listen to him. He was going around in practice all week saying he only had 6 to 8 plays left in him. But even KJ Wright told me he looks like himself. You know, they were splitting reps between him and Turbin. Lynch went first, and KJ Wright told me he's expecting greatness. And Turbin himself has been practicing even since the beginning of the season. So he says his conditioning is ready for this game, despite the fact that he's been out 400-plus days himself, Michael.
Well, considering what's at stake, any bit of beast mode can be only a benefit to the Seahawks in this game. And speaking of Seattle, another interesting storyline here, Josina, is Richard Sherman. Of course, he won a Super Bowl with Seattle a couple years ago. Now he's facing his former team yet again, but with the division crown on the line. What is he saying about this scenario?
Well, let me tell you, Michael, Richard Sherman called me, I think it was Saturday morning before the team got on the plane. And usually, you know, we're rapping and he's loose, but he was so business toned. And I said, what do you think about the media craze surrounding Lynch coming back? And he was like, we're unconcerned. If he plays, we'll defend him. But he said that team needs all that rah-rah nonsense to get themselves up. For us, it's just another game. So when I tell you he is coming in here surgical, clinical, bringing his briefcase, and you know how he already feels about his former team. He is not about it, Michael. He is not worrying about this team, and they know that they're 16th ranked against the run, so he feels like they got the pieces to take care of it.
I'm not sure if Rich is trying to psych himself up or psych the other team out. Either way, we're going to find out what happens.
Right.
Niners, Seahawks, NFC West crown on the line. Josina Anderson there in Seattle. So again, big night because this marks the second winner-take-all game in Week 17 for the NFC West since realignment went down back in 2002. Now, as far as the seeding for the winners concerned, San Francisco again would clinch home field advantage, while the Seahawks would get the 3 seed and a first-round bye. They would not get a first-round bye to the 3 seed. That's not how that works. The loser would be the NFC